Michigan Out of Doors Online is brought to you in part by Tri-County Logging. Experienced in sustainable forestry practices, Tri-County Logging can help you manage your property by keeping your woods healthy and generate income. Serving southern and mid-Michigan for nearly 50 years, TriCountyLogging.com.
Hi everyone, welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. I'm Jenny Olson-Silik, and we've got an exciting all-new show in store for you this week. Jordan Brown is going to take us out on our very first ice fishing trip of the season. You won't want to miss that. They had a great time out there with some great folks. We'll also take a look at how Jordan did out in the woods for the late deer season. And speaking of hunting, Jimmy's got an exciting adventure in store for us too.
Well, that's right, Jenny. We do have one more hunting adventure on this week's show, and it's one of my favorite things to do here in the great state of Michigan, and that is to tag along on one of the annual elk hunts that happens in the northeast part of the Lower Peninsula. Lots of good stuff on this week's show. You stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger. It's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan out of doors.
What a beautiful day in the woods.
Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream, it's a love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Country Smokehouse, a sportsman's meat processor and Michigan destination since 1988, offers a variety of homemade smoked meats and Michigan-made products in-store and online. The Country Smokehouse features an outdoor barbecue and bar. Details at countrysmokehouse.com. Michigan's hunters and anglers are essential partners to the health of the state's wildlife and habitats. The Michigan Wildlife Council is dedicated to ensuring our hunting and fishing heritage and Michigan's natural resources are preserved for future generations. By AnglerQuest Pontoons. AnglerQuest is a Michigan-based company building boats designed for comfort and fishing functionality. For more information, anglerquestpontoons.com. By Polar Craft Boats, offering riveted and welded boats for the outdoor enthusiast. Whether you're targeting fish or waterfowl, Polar Craft Boats have several models to choose from that keep you high and dry. For more information, polarcraft.com.
A few weeks back found me in one of my favorite spots, Johannesburg, Michigan. Also known as Joburg, this little town doesn't get a lot of attention until this time of the year. You see, this is where the lucky of the lucky are, the folks holding a December elk tag here in Michigan. There were about 100 tags given out for this hunt, and after the mandatory meeting, the tags were distributed. The hunter I would be tagging along with was Chaz Arnold. Chaz just happens to have a cabin in this part of the state, so we headed there to get ready and to hear about this lucky hunter's journey here today.
Well, we've had it probably for about, I want to say about 34 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a while. It was originally built in 1937.
And did you ever think you'd be hunting elk out of it?
No, not at all.
Yeah, tell me about how long you've been putting in for an elk tag.
Probably when they started back in 84. I have been putting in for ever since I can remember. And I kept thinking maybe one of these days I'll get pulled. We'll get pulled. Well, you know, it's just this, I think May, I opened up my email. And usually I look at my bear tag first because I do bear and elk both. And I said, this year I'm going to change it up and look at the elk first, just for the heck of it. And I open it up and it says, congratulations, successful. It took about a second for it to sink in. It's like, oh man, I hit the lotto.
Hit the lotto indeed. Now later that night I went to Canada Creek Ranch. This is where about 20 or so of the folks with tags would be hunting. The members here take out some of the hunters and they do a great job in hosting, and in turn, they're trimming the elk numbers here on their whitetail hunting property. The guides all gather the night before to find out who their hunters would be, and then we all meet up in the morning.
They kind of tell you where. They give you a hunting location, so I know it's going to be in that area. But I belong to SCI. So one of the members, Joe Kowinski, says, his wife is from Hillman, says, get a hold of Canada Creek and they will set you up. Well, I did, and I tell you, it's been fantastic. Huh. So, and the guide I have is just, well, I don't know if you know him or not, but he's very, very animated.
Dennis Schwartz and Ralph Mayer were our guides today, and we were all a little animated when we spotted a group of bulls. We were only about a half hour into the hunt, and Chaz, he had a decision to make.
The one on the left. He's coming in.
There it is.
He's coming in. The one on the left.
Yeah, I see it. He's a couple more steps, it'd be clear for it. But I mean, what do you do?
Turn your scope off.
It looked like it was either a 4x4 or a 5x5.
Yeah, but be careful because the one's right behind it.
There's one behind it. Ooh.
As the bulls separated, I moved into position just over Chaz's shoulder, and just in time.
Oh, we did
He
him.
just went down.
He just went down.
He just went down.
All right, let's take it easy here.
Yes.
We got a shell in there, right?
I got a well, I will have.
Whoa.
I tried to range find him, and there's too many branches.
Oh, I did have one in there.
It doesn't get much better than that.
Well, maybe.
my
Maybe.
word.
Come on, guys. Let's not count our
Yep,
Chickens
I-
for the heads.
There's no chickens.
I saw him go. I saw him go down.
I did too.
Well, I do too. That doesn't mean you can't get back up. Great shot, by the way.
Well, the high fives were flying, and Chaz had made a pretty great shot with more than just a little tension in the air. What a fun morning for sure.
Explain what just happened there, young man.
Oh, well, my heart's ready to jump out of my chest, okay? But I remember my wife said, take a breath, relax, squeeze. And that's exactly what I did.
Perfect.
And I'll tell you what,
This was really sweet. It
Yeah.
gave us time. That little rascal
Yeah.
gave us time.
It
He
did.
looks like a pretty nice bull.
I
I'd say
think
that
so.
was, what, 200-yard shot, probably?
Ooh.
Something like that?
Close to it.
Yeah.
We'll
Close
try
to it.
range find it.
Range it back, yeah.
Okay.
Up there maybe.
Okay.
Well, there was at least 2 or 3 bulls.
There
in
I
was-
think there might have been
There's
3.
two.
There
You know
might have
what
been.
scared me was
I
when he
no.
shot,
I think there was
another
3.
animal went back.
Elk are pretty impressive animals. Walking up on one is a unique thrill for sure. And this was a hunt, although fairly quick, was one to remember.
Oh yes.
Oh, he's a nice bull.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 5. Oh, there's it.
That's where it came out.
He's beautiful. Lunged him. Great shot. Great shot.
Congratulations, young man.
Thank you. Thank you. First elk.
First elk.
We radioed in our kill, and it wasn't long at all, and we had a crowd, as this was the first animal down on the ranch. Folks moved our way to help out, including Chuck Whitmer, who was in charge here today.
I am the elk hunt coordinator.
What does that entail today?
Well, like, it's organizing all the hunters with their guides and making sure everybody's got what they need.
And how long you been doing this kind of stuff?
15 years.
15 years.
Yeah.
There's got to be a lot of excitement around the ranch when this is getting close.
Oh, it is. It is, absolutely. So it's a great time getting to meet everybody.
Okay, and then explain to people how the guides and the scouts, how do you all kind of work together?
Well, each hunter gets paired with a member who becomes their guide for the entirety of the elk hunt. And obviously they go out in the woods and look for tracks and animals and stalk them. And we do have a group of scouts that are out driving around in vehicles looking for the same thing.
After hanging the bull for a few hours, the guys were loading it up for the mandatory check-in with the DNR in Atlanta. Once there, we chatted with the biologist on hand.
Today we are checking elk. We are looking at hunter-harvested elk out of Michigan's elk range in the northern lower peninsula. We are getting ages, antler measurements, locations of the kill so we can monitor where elk are located. And we are helping lots of happy hunters today.
And how's the population of elk doing overall?
The population is doing great. We're above our goal of 500 to 900 elk, so we are monitoring that and looking at those numbers.
All done, young man. You did everything.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go for the pure Michigan.
Yeah. So how was your experience overall for this whole hunt?
That's fantastic. I couldn't have asked for anything better. I mean, exceeded my expectations. Fantastic.
It was a lot of fun hunting with you today.
Hey, I had fun having you there, catching all the excitement.
Well, there was even more excitement as lucky hunters brought their elk in.
Jason Larson from Onaway.
What happened with this bull today?
We found him, got on him, let him walk at first, and then decided, you know what, that's a good bull. Let's make it happen.
So you considered not shooting him?
I had him at 100 yards and let him walk.
What?
And then
Did you have bad eyes or what?
no, I made my mind up. I wasn't gonna shoot 6x6, and I had a whole bunch of people with me, and I said, you know what, this is what it's about, family and friends, and he's a mature bull. this is, and my brother said to me, he goes, would you shoot him on the last day? And I said, yeah, I'd shoot him on the last day. And he goes, well, I think you just answered your question. So,
Wow. How far was the shot?
just short of 300 yards.
Oh my.
Yeah.
And what kind of gun were you using?
300 short mag.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, congratulations. How long have you been putting in for a tag?
Oh, I think this is, well, I don't know, forever.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 44, so whenever they started, I started. So.
Okay.
Yep.
And from Onaway, so you're the hometown boy
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hanging out at the check station is a great spot to hear some stories like another successful hunter, Mike Luce.
We got out, and here they come, single file. I shot him about 75 yards, and he fell over, like boom, right in the wood.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what kind of gun were you using?
300 Weatherby mag.
Nice.
Yep.
So what was it like walking up on him?
I couldn't believe it. Well, you got to be kidding me. I mean, he's a beauty. And I almost thought maybe seeing those big ones this morning, I might like, I don't know, maybe that I should have pulled the trigger on a smaller one, but no, this worked out great.
Nice. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
After we headed back to Canada Creek, we found out that another hunter had asked if he could hunt as well. Brian Gibson, who was holding a cow tag, and sure enough, well, he jumped in with Dennis and Ralph and myself, and we were back in the woods. We had been at it a few hours when we heard that a lone cow had been spotted. So we worked our way over there. Brian was holding a tribal tag but could only shoot a cow. So after he made sure this was not a spike bull, Brian got ready to make the shot.
Yeah, make sure she's a cow.
Has anybody got glasses on it? I just know what you're going to do here.
Get ready. She felt right.
Well, Brian had hit the cow perfect on the first shot. He did fire once more just to make sure. It was a great shot of at least 200 yards.
Well, what'd you think, young man? How was that?
That's pretty awesome. The first elk.
First elk. That was a long shot.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Yeah.
I'll put her throat.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
As a tribal hunter, it was kind of neat to see Brian's small ceremony with this awesome animal.
Tell me what you're doing there.
Put down tobacco to give thank the animal for its life and thank the creator for this animal. So, oh, let me go. What you want to do? Oh, no.
Good.
Cool.
The elk hunt and the elk pole in Atlanta, well, they are very special. Whether you have a tag or not, it is worth the drive to this special corner of our great state.
Hi, I'm Jordan Brown, and for our next segment on this week's show, we have our very first ice fishing segment of the year, where I was able to spend a little time in the northern part of the Lower Peninsula, tagging along with a few anglers targeting panfish through the ice.
It's a fish nonetheless. What do we go to start the morning? We are in northern central Michigan here today. We're fishing panfish, doing a little bit of crappie and gill targeting this morning. We're out kind of bordering a basin. We've got a couple shelves on the sides of us here, decent amount of suspended fish right now, anywhere from about 2 to 6 feet off the bottom. Pretty active bite here right at sunup. Thomas just picked up a couple fish really quick. I tapped one gill and then showed some fish a little bit more suspended closer to that 7-foot line, and picked up a crappie myself, so we'll see kind of what happens this morning. There he is.
He's tangled on me, the deucer. That's what we're looking for right there. Come on, baby. Ooh. Love that clear ice. I can see him flashing under my knee. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's the one we want right there. Well, the ice conditions this year have been kind of a pain. We started out real well.
things froze up pretty well. And then here this last week or so, it's been in the upper 40s. It's only been getting down to, and I choked. Only been getting down to maybe 30 at night. And if this continues, we won't be on the ice much longer till it freezes back up. Several lakes I have fished earlier in the season are no longer fishable. Little crappie. What do you think, Matt? Want to toss this one back, or you want him? Go ahead and toss him. Back in the hole? Yeah. Let's see if he's playful. Oh, he looks playful. Come on, all the way.
The morning bite was pretty steady, with the first hour producing lots of fish and several nice keepers. Things started to slow down a little bit around 8:30, but it didn't seem to affect the quality of fish.
It is amazing what just a quick change of, oh, that is cool, flashing under the ice. Feisty. Get that little bit of that first ice craze going. There's a nice fish. So pretty typical panfish setup here. 2-pound trilene ice line. I'm just using clear here. I think Thomas is on color, but as far as jig presentation goes, we're starting out with plastics right now. I started actually with a 4mm tungsten jig and switched over to the 3mm Gold Series RBM here, and I'm on gold. I think Ross is using a chrome 3mm, and Thomas is actually using our brand new Lake Effect line, the Bluebird, and that's a glow blue with a little bit of an orange back there. But again, pretty typical presentations. We're all using a variety of our different plastics. I'm using our Lake Effect line Crazy Bug, and we're just kind of dancing it above them, dropping through the water column. I like to get a couple fish kind of competing there, and you can usually get one scooting up on it a little bit faster. As Thomas has said, light bite this morning, but a consistent bite, and the fish are quality. Really nice sized fish, mixture of some dandy crappies, and then a couple gills are starting to trickle in, so we're hoping that we can get a basket full of quality fish today.
Oh yeah, that's what you look for in a bluegill right there. See if I get that jig to come out. So far it's been pretty good. Steady bite, not super fast, but consistent. And it's been good size so far. We haven't had to throw a lot of little ones back. That always makes it nice.
The style of fishing today was pretty basic, tungsten jigs tipped with a soft plastic, but the gear we were using was unique, as it was created by Matt and his business partner Ross.
We were doing it as a hobby at first. We began in 2013, just creating our own jigs for steelhead fishing because we were poor and wanted to try to do things on our own and not lose $50 worth of gear every single day when we were out on the river. And so we started just painting our own steelhead jigs at that time. And then a few buddies kind of asked us for some, and we thought, well, maybe we'll make a little bit of money on this. And then we got into ice fishing. I actually grew up doing a lot of ice fishing, and so for me it was kind of natural to gravitate back towards that. And so we jumped into ice fishing, and we started designing and doing our own tungsten jigs. And it's just been really cool because it's a different market there. There's a whole lot more people that get into ice fishing panfish, and it's kind of a neat thing that you can do to get out and keep yourself busy in the winter. And so we started with jigs, and then we moved into plastics, and that's been really kind of neat to see that evolve as well. We're working into some other areas. Again, we've just kind of launched this lake effect line of stuff, and so we've got a lot of people following us on social media, and it's really just turned into something kind of neat for all of us.
It's always nice to see Michigan companies doing well in the outdoor industry. Special thanks to Matt, Ross, and Thomas for a fun day of fishing here in northern Michigan. If you're planning on hitting the ice anytime soon, make sure you double check ice conditions and stay safe out on the hard water. Well, it certainly felt good to be back out on the ice again, but the beginning of the ice fishing season means the end of the deer season here in Michigan. So for our last segment on this week's show, I'm going to take you on my very last hunt of the year, which ended up being about a perfect representation of how things have gone for me this year.
Well, it is officially down to crunch time. January 1st, last day to hunt down here in southern Michigan. I'm sitting in an area where I've gotten pictures of the buck I've been chasing all year long. The chess match is not going so well. I have got hundreds of pictures of this buck, but have yet to actually see him in person. And I've still got a couple doe tags left to fill. And like I said, it's January 1st, so there is no more time. I'm going to hunt for an hour or so this morning, hoping to see that buck. Assuming I do not, I'm going to switch over and start trying to fill a doe tag. So we'll see what happens here. It's a beautiful morning. We got a couple inches of fresh snow last night. I would think the deer will move pretty well, but you never know. Either way, just enjoying my last sit here for the 2019 bow season, and thankful for another good year. So we'll sit tight and see what happens.
After an incredible couple of hours of hunting, I finally decided to give up on filling my buck tag for 2019. So I picked up the muzzleloader and turned my attention to trying to fill a doe tag. After having countless deer walk by within gun range with great footage, of course, as soon as I grabbed the gun, I started having problems with the camera. The cold weather was affecting the battery, so it would only run for about 10 seconds before shutting off. With time running out, I had a few deer working their way into range. So I turned on the camera, hit record, and hoped for the best.
Well, what just happened is about completely par for the course the way this year's gone. Finally had a nice doe coming in, getting the camera rolling, and I looked down right before I get ready to pull the trigger and see that the camera battery had died again, which it did once earlier this morning. That also cost me an opportunity. So I took the shot anyway. It's January 1st, there is no tomorrow, so took the shot. I think I made a good one. I'm gonna go look here in a few minutes. But you know, that's kind of the way things have been for me this season. I actually killed a nice buck during bow season, and I tape all of my bow hunts. But of course I spotted the buck on my way back to the truck. I didn't have time to get camera gear out. It was kind of a now or never situation. So I didn't get that kill on camera. Did get some of the recovery stuff, but and then my wife killed a nice buck, and we're almost always sitting together running the camera, and it was the only sit all year that we weren't hunting together. She killed a great buck, which is still awesome, but you know, as far as running the camera, which is a big part of what I do, it's been a tough year. Good way to end the season. Like I said, it's been a good year. It's just been tough behind the camera, so kind of a fitting end to the way 2019 went for me, but no complaints. Excited for next year and thankful for another successful season here in Michigan.
Thanks for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. Make sure you join us in upcoming weeks. We've got a lot of exciting action headed your way. We'll be doing some open water fishing here this winter on the big water. We'll also do some ice fishing, small game hunting, all sorts of fun headed your way. If you'd like to see where we are and where we're headed next, you can always do that online.
Well, that's right. Online is a great way to kind of keep tabs on us. Our website is michiganoutofdoorstv.com. Full episodes of the show there every week, and we're also on most of the social media platforms if you want to check us out there. And over the next couple of weeks, we're going to have lots of good stuff, as Jenny mentioned, and I was recently out doing some open water perch fishing. You won't want to miss that. And also some steelhead on the river. So lots of good stuff coming over the next several weeks. And as always, if we don't see you in the woods or on the water, hopefully we'll see you right back here next week on your PBS station.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Greenstone Farm Credit Services, making recreational land ownership possible across Michigan and Northeast Wisconsin. Begin your land financing journey at one of Greenstone's 37 locations or visit greenstonefcs.com. By Showspan, producing consumer shows including the Ultimate Fishing Show Detroit, January 9th through 12th at Novi Suburban Collection Showplace. The show features fishing tackle, trips, boats, and seminars from top pros. The Ultimate Fishing Show, Novi, January 9th through 12th. Closed captioning provided by Randy's Hunting Center, serving Michigan as Ruger and Leupold's National Dealer of the Year and inventor of Ruger's 450 Bushmaster rifle.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. The white-tailed deer in the tall pine trees. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land. I am a Michigan man. From the Keweenaw down to St. Joe, Kalamazoo, east to Monroe, to St. Marie and back again. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love